firstly, a happy Mahalaya to all my dear viewers and subscribers. If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to Jay's Forum. I come up with new videos every week, and also hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I post on YouTube. So I'm back with another freelancing video, and this time I'm going to be discussing how I made $10 in 5 minutes by freelancing on Fiverr. And this time it's not only going to be useful for all the freelancers out there, but it's also going to be very useful because in this video I will be talking about an absolutely free tool with which you can edit and modify PDFs, and you can create fillable forms with the help of PDFs just by using an online software. So it's completely free tool, also an online software. You don't need to download or install anything, and also this is a very easy tool to get started with. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. So I have a PDF created, and I will actually take you to the entire procedure, but I will first give you a brief that what I did. So the service that I provided was creation of fillable PDF forms. Okay, now the PDF which I created, or the fillable form which I created, was about 15 pages, and that's why I charged about $10. But trust me, this process took just 5 minutes for me to get completed with, and therefore I got $10 just by working for 5 minutes. And also many people actually think that what is the best PDF software where you can edit and modify your PDFs, you can create fillable forms, you can sign your PDFs, because we already know that the best software for PDFs is basically the one that is provided by Adobe, but the free version is just a reader, and all you can do is you can just place your signatures, but you cannot like create fillable forms. So it has a very restricted functionality, and obviously the pro version is pretty expensive. So I was also looking for a free tool where I can easily modify my PDFs, I can like create fillable forms, and with this, in this video I'm going to be sharing to you that free online software with which you can easily create fillable forms. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So first I will be actually showing you the PDF that I've created, and then I will be taking you to the website.
And so here we have the PDF. So as you can see that this is a very basic PDF which has some text fields, it has some checkboxes, and I've also created a table, and we also have like radio buttons, and then at the end I have left a question where I can ask for any feedback the person will like to leave, and there we have like left a lot of white space. So this is like a basic form that you might create for someone who has to apply to your institute, maybe for a teaching position. Okay, so as you can see that since this is a PDF, I have opened this with the Adobe Reader, and this is the free version. Okay, now since this is the free version, it has some functionalities, but it does not support all the functionalities. For example, if I want to edit this PDF, I want to create a form from this PDF, all of these will actually require me to install or purchase the pro version of this Adobe software that we have, and obviously it's very expensive. So I have actually come up with this software, which is an absolutely free online tool. And since it's an online tool, all you need to have is just a stable internet connection, and you don't need to install or download any application. You don't need to do anything. It's a totally free online tool, and the website's name is pdfescape. So I will take you there. So as you can see, this is the website pdfescape.com. Okay, so all I need to do is I will just click on that, and this website is going to open. And as you can see that either I can sign up and create an account, or I can just use it for free. So I will definitely be using this for free. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the file that I want to convert or I want to edit. So I will click on open, and then it's going to tell that it's going to take some time because it's loading or processing the PDF file. And then you can see that your PDF file has opened with pdfescape. Okay, now you have a bunch of important options right here, like you can add text, you have this white out option, which is nothing but like an eraser, like you can wipe out something with the help of this. You can also add image, and this is going to be a very important option in case you want to like add your image in your PDF form, or let's say you want to add the image of your signature, of your handwritten signature. For all of those cases you can use this option. We also have other options, but the one about which we are going to discuss in this video is this one, that is form field. Okay, so as you can see that the first form field is for the name. The label is name. So I will click on form field, and if I click on this type drop down, you can see that we have a bunch of different types of form fields that you can easily create. So you have text, which is for the basic text form field. Now in case you want a paragraph of text, then you will use text paragraph. Then we have checkbox, we have radio, which is essentially radio buttons. We also have drop downs, and we have list box, reset button, and submit button. So you can easily create buttons with the help of this website as well. And we have two options. One is the submit button, with which you can submit the form, and reset button, that is going to help you to reset or clear all the values that you have entered in the form. So since this is for the name field, I'm going to use the text form field, and I'm going to click on select. And once I do that, all I need to do is I just need to click and drag out an area, and this is going to be where I have to enter the input, right? Now you have this setting option, and there what you can do, the first thing is you can set some name for your form field. Then I want this to be printed, so I will check this, and I want this to be visible. If you want this to be a required form field, you can check this option. If you want this to be a multi-line option, you can do that, but I don't want this to be a multi-line one. And max length, let's say I want the maximum number of characters to be there for this particular name form field is going to be, let's say 20. So I'm going to set the max length to 20. You can also change the text alignment. I think I will go with left, and I'm going to click on OK. Now once you're done editing this form field, all you need to do is click on disable. But before that, one more thing. Let's say that you want the text that is going to be entered in these form fields to be of a specific font family. So let's say I want Times New Roman, and I want the size to be, let's say 20. Okay, and I don't want this to be bold or italicized. This is the settings that I want to be applied to all the text that is going to be entered into my form in these form fields. So now we have applied those changes, and we can just click here to disable. So now we have got our form field, and if I just click on that, you can see that I can enter anything I want, right? So next we have age. The same thing, I will again select the text field right here, and I can go to my settings tab. This is going to again be a required form field, but this time I can set the max length to let's say 100. Okay, so assuming that we are not going to accept applications of people above this age, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the max length to be 100. Click on OK. Now similarly we have the gender field, but this time let's say I want there to be a drop down in case of the gender field. So what I can do, again I will select the form field, and this time I want a drop down. Okay, I'm going to click on select, and here first I'm going to click and drag the area where I want the drop down to be. Okay, this is done. Now we need to add the options that are going to be there in my drop down. How to do that? Again, go to my settings option, and here I'm going to first make this a required form field, and now we have to add the field options. Let's say the first option that I have here is going to be female. The next one is going to be male. Next one, let's say, is going to be others. And let's say we also have an option where you might not prefer to reveal your gender. So prefer not to say. Okay. So we have these four options. I'm going to click on OK. And once I have done editing this form field, now you can see if I just click on this arrow, you actually have these options. So if I, let's say, select female, you can see that this has been selected in my option. Okay. Next we have email ID. The same thing again. I want this to be a text form field. So I'm going to just click and drag out an area where I can like enter the text. And again, let's say that I want the max length to be 50 characters and I want this to be a required form field. I can just click on OK, and here we have got this one. Similarly, for the phone number, again this is going to be a text form field, but this time I'm going to set the max length to 10. And if you want, you can make this a required form field, or I think I will not make this one a required form field. I will click on OK, and now we have added these form fields. Next we have our checkbox, where we are asking such a question like which are the subjects you are comfortable teaching. Okay, so we already have got the boxes created. All we need to do is we need to create the fillable portion right inside the boxes. So I will again go to form field, and within type we have this option which is checkbox. So I'm going to click on that, click on select, and all I need to do is just click and drag inside the square. And now you can see that we have got this checkbox. Now you can also change the settings of the checkbox, like whether you want the check type to be the default one, that is check, or whether you want this to be a circle or cross. So let's say that we want this to be the default cross. So this is going to be how it is looking. Okay, and next same thing again. For the next checkbox, we can again just click and drag, and now we have got the checkbox. All you need to do is again you need to like set the check type to cross and click on OK. And similarly you can just go on. Similarly you can do this for all the options we have in our checkbox. Now if you just want to like select any option or deselect any option, you can do that, because in checkboxes multiple selection is allowed, right? Next we have our educational qualification. So again, in case of the serial number, I'm going to go with text, and I'm going to like click and drag the area right here just to let's say 2, so that we can only accommodate up to 2-digit numbers right here. Then we have for the degree, so I'm going to like click and drag a text field right here. Same for the institute name, and again for the percentage. Okay, so the same thing, you can just play around with the settings. Now next what we have is basically the radio button. Now this is a bit different. So I'm going to go to form field, and this time I'm going to select radio, click on select. And you can see already we have got these circles. All I need to do is I just need to click and drag within the circle area, and here we have got our radio button. Now again you can actually set the setting, like you can set the check type to circle, check, whatever you want, but I think circle is going to look good because we are working with radio buttons. And this time I'm going to do what you know, I'm going to actually change the name of this form field to radio and click on OK. Now why I'm doing this I will tell you. Again for the next option, we again are going to select the radio type form field, and I'm going to click and drag the area inside this. You can also expand this area, and again go to settings, and this time I'm again going to change the name to radio, and rest everything is going to remain the same. Click on OK. And did you see what happened? The moment I like clicked on OK, earlier the first option was actually checked, but now you can see that moment I check any other option, the previous one gets deselected. And that is how actually radio buttons work, right? You can just select one option at a time, and the moment you select a new option, the previous option automatically gets unchecked or deselected. And that is why we have actually given the same class name to all the options. So the same thing I'm going to do with the last option that we have right here, that is again click and drag some area so that we get our radio button form field, and again the class name I'm going to keep the same, that is going to be radio. Okay, and lastly we have this option which tells me that do you want to give any feedback, and in that case I want a text paragraph. So I will click on select, and I will just drag and create this box right here where we can like add a paragraph of text. I can go to settings, and here we have certain options. So since this is a paragraph text, by default the multi-line option is going to be checked, and I also want this to be a multi-line text. Now still you can like set some restriction. Let's say I want the maximum characters to be entered in this form field to be 200, and if you want the scrolling option to be there, you can check it. And if you do not want If you want that this should not be able to scroll, so there should be no scrolling, you can just check this option. Otherwise, you can just keep this unchecked. You can also change the alignment of the text and just click on OK. So here we have actually created our fillable form within 5 minutes, right? Because I was actually explaining you each and every step in detail, I think we have taken a bit of time, but once you get used to this process, it's hardly going to take you 5 minutes. Now, one last thing I'm going to show you, that instead of having such options and check boxes, let's say for such a kind of question, we have a multi-select list. So how to do that? So I'm going to go to again form field, and let's say we have a list box here. I'm going to select and I'm going to click and drag a list box right here. And now I'm going to go to the settings tab and I'm going to add the field options. So let's say that I want to like add some subjects. So one can be like mathematics, another can be like English, next one can be science, and next one can be like, or let's keep it economics. Okay. So now we have got 4 options, and let's say I want people to be able to select multi-option similar to a checkbox. Okay, so I'm going to select this option which says multi-select and click on OK. And if I just disable, now what happens, you will see that this is our list. And let's say that I want to select maths and I also want to select English. You can easily do that, right? Let's say I want to select all 4. I can select all 4 as well. And this is how we have a multi-select menu, right? So let's say that now we are done creating our form. All I need to do is I just need to now export this as a form. So how to do that? So you have this option which says save and download PDF. I'm going to go to that option. And then we need to give some name to this file. Click on save. And now we have got our file saved. So I'm just going to open this to check. And now you can see that we have got our fillable PDF form. Now let's say I want to enter some name, like let's say demo. I can do that. Let's say I want to add some age. Then gender, we must have a drop down. So you can see that we have a drop down. I will select female. Then we have some email ID. Let's say demo@gmail.com, right? Then we have a phone number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have just set the maximum length to 10. So I cannot type beyond this. Now we have these 2 options to which we have added the form fields. I can check this one. I can check this one as well. And here also we have the multi-list options. You can see that we also get the scroll bar. So if we had got like more options, we could have also like been able to scroll. And if I want to select multiple options, I can do that as well. Then I can like add the serial number here, some degree here, everything we can do. And also we have our checkbox right here. We can check this, or we can uncheck the previous one and select any other option as well. And also we can like give any feedback if we want. So in this way, we have easily created a fillable PDF form with the help of an online absolutely free tool. And all of this hardly takes 5 minutes. And with this, I had got my $10 on Fiverr.
So this was all for this video. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, kindly like the video and also subscribe to my channel if you're new, and also hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I post on my channel. So I will meet you with the next video. Until then, bye.